Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listeners. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. We have been looking at Al Imran as a surah, and inshallah, we will listen to another passage of it and then we will do a brief discussion around it so that we can connect better with the Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم ومن يغفر الذنوب إلا الله ولم يصروا على ما فعلوا وهم يعلمون.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tammim bil khair ya fatahu ya lima wa bika nasta'in. So welcome, dear listeners, and I pray that you will feel the beauty of the Quran in these ayahs that we read. It was from a passage from Al Imran, from ayah 133 to 136. And just as an overview before we get into the translation, other things, I like to give minimum of what is already out there. And I just want to share how you can sort of dig in a bit more deeply for yourself. And so therefore, have your Musaf open. I hope in the recording, in the audio that you were hearing, you could see also the translation. So ayah 133 to 136, it starts by saying, run to Allah, to Allah, be quick and to seek for your forgiveness, and because the gardens have been prepared for those who are the muttaqeen. And then in 36, it goes back to what has been given for the and it says that this is the reward of forgiveness and gardens, again back to talking about Jannah. So between 33 and 36, you have two sifat given about alladhina. When things start with alladhina, you can say, so run for Jannah, so that in itself is about a striving, and that's what you want to do. Then it gives you two qualities of what these people are, those who A, B, and C. And then it goes on to, in ayah 35, to C, D, and E maybe. You can either do them linear fashion or you can do them, these are the sifat that those people do. So when we start now with, so this is a passage that goes, and again it's with this idea of linking. And these ayahs are placed well within the time of post-Uhud. So we talked about how in Surah Baqarah it was pre-Badr preparation, and a bit of that was mentioned. There are more things mentioned, but I'm just drawing the highlights to sort of bring these two surahs of what was in common. Here you have a commentary of post-Uhud. So there was a setback. We lost many shaheed. There were about 70. So when coming back to Medina, it was a very somber, somebody in each family had been lost. So the background to these ayahs of those qualities which are mentioned, and the specific ones that I want to be looking at, is on 34 and 35, which starts with alladhina yunfiquna fis sarai wad durai wal kadhimin al ghayz wal afina anin nas. That is a beautiful verse that I want to be looking at a little bit, and wanting you to go home and look at it and really see how much depth there is. So in a nutshell, it came in that time, post-Uhud. So to be spending in good times and in bad times is one quality. Then to be kazimin al-ghayz, to be swallowing, bottling in your anger, is another qualities. And afina anin nas, and forgiving. The afu is different from ghafara. Afu is really deleting it. It's got much more depth, and there are beautiful discussions out there. If you dig deep and wanting to look what afu means, you will find it, inshallah. So I'm not going to go into that depth because it's just beautiful what other people are able to explain. But these are three qualities, and what it says, Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin, and Allah loves those who are the good ones. And so in 33, we started with the people, A, B, it's like when you're at home and you never want to just have bread and butter every day. You're always upping your thing. So yes, we are Muslims. Our first level of entry is Islam. The next level is Iman. The third level is Ihsan. And so we are always wanting to build. Yes, there is a hadith when a person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, if I just do my basic 5 pillars, what can you guarantee me, or will you guarantee me? And he said, yes, I guarantee you Jannah if you do the 5 pillars. But the beauty is, and we all know that the chances of us we slip. Why are we always saying astaghfirullah? Because we slip. And therefore we want to, even at your metric exam, your high school, O level, whatever it is, you want to just up your mark and you want to make sure you aim for 80 and 90. So even if you get a 70, it's a clear pass. So therefore, the same thing here. So when we are talking about فَفِرُّوا إِلَى الْمَغْفِرَةِ, let me just get the ayah. فَفِرُّوا, that you are racing, be quick in the race for forgiveness from your Allah. And then for the muttaqeen, this has been prepared. And who are the muttaqeen? الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضُّرَّاءِ وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. And here, in the spending, why is that spending mentioned now after post-Uhud? In battle times, you have all this military complex in today's term, in those days, but you are putting in all your effort into arsenal, into preparing yourself for war, whether it's, and that's what the people of Medina were doing. Now they've come back and they're sort of despondent of how many they lost, and now they're again being told that never mind whether it's good times or whether it's good times when you spent after Badr because you were excited and you were happy, or now when it's post Uhud, it seems like not so happy times, and we are still supposed to now be spending. So that is the first sort of if you look at it when it was revealed and who it was addressing, it was those people, and they are now being told that you still continue to spend. If you still have to prepare because you have to liberate the Kaaba, you still do that. And then the next one is, and you bottle in your anger. The direct correlation or the direct message for them was because the setback happened because certain people sitting up on the hilltop guarding a pass, they left their post. And so that caused people being able to attack from the back. Again, that's all there. So now when you are saying, well, kadhimin al-ghayza, so you're coming home and you have these people, was it our own who did something which made this situation come to pass? So that is in first place of historically, but it doesn't mean that's the only time when it's going to be it addresses them only. It means for us. And now we'll get into what kadhim is, how it means bottling up, swallowing. It's like, I'm just going to give the example of a whistling kettle or something, but it really means that it's not that you get rid of your anger. It's there, but it doesn't come and it doesn't show on your face. So that is where the kazimin al-ghayza comes in, and how that is a sifat that you're able to control your anger, you're able to keep it in and not let it surface. And eventually, so you are forgiving the people, and then wa'afu and al-kazimin al-ghayza wal-afina an-nas, and you forgive people. So it applies just as much to us, and inshallah, in that now we will take it further to how we apply it for our own lives. So we will get to that right now, and the ayah that goes after continues that even when we make mistakes, even then we bring Allah to mind immediately. And that's the beauty of astaghfirullah, that what you've done something, but you sort of retract and you immediately ask for forgiveness. In first place to Allah, and then do whatever is necessary to offset what you did. But we will go for a pause, and inshallah, when we are back, we'll continue from there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Welcome back. So we're looking essentially at ayah 134 of Al Imran, and it has these 3 sifat of people of Jannah, and that's what we are going to be striving for, or what we are striving for in our life. And the beautiful way it ends, Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. And the beautiful thing of that is the concept of ihsan, of being of excellence, is what, if we are people of taqwa, that's what we will be able to reach. And just for me, this little passage, I love to remember it, and I wish we would internalize it and memorize it, because it talks about swallowing your anger, bottling in it. It doesn't mean it's gone away, but it's mean you're able to keep a cap on it. You're able to keep it within you. And the beautiful thing of our life is that, if you are able to control your anger, they say the person that's strongest is not a wrestler or something, the person who's stronger, who's able to curtail or keep his anger down. We did a beautiful workshop once on which we were talking about how anger, and the thing to manage anger is al-kazimin al-ghayz, is hold in your anger. And we talked about that, if you're even able to not lash back in your anger, and this ghayz is about, being, your blood is boiling with anger, and it does to us in the best of times, whether it's a road rage or anything else. And so if you're able to have the taqwa, the awareness, and to just, yes, I'm angry, I'm boiling angry, I'm really, really angry, and you're able to just hold on to it. I'm not sure in science in terms, but they say that even if you're able to just be silent for that time of 1 minute, half a minute, 30 seconds or more, at even a minute and a half, and you will find that boiling point. Even a kettle, you take it off the stove and it's, it will boil for a bit, then it calms down. So your anger will come down. Now, the fact that you may need to still say the same thing, you may need to still reprimand the child, you may need to still say what you have to say, but you might be able to say it in a more civilized tone. So that's what is indicated in our life, if we take it for today, of how al-kadhimin al-ghayz. And all these things go together. When you're angry, you say, well, I'm not going to give them any overtime, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to. No, but whether it's in good times or bad times, because we are so prone to forgetting. We forget how people served us in our good times, how they went overboard at some time. So if in other days they've shortchanged us, can we not remember the times when they were good? Because everybody has their up days, their down days, we included. But it's so easy to say, oh, no, she skipped work for so many days, this is what we're going to do. Instead, if that's for other people, but for yourself, even if that's why there's also that beautiful ahadith, do something in moderation, consistently. There's no point going over the top. In Ramadan, we are totally, full of beans and everything of what we are doing about our deen, and yet come after, we want to take a, chill pill, we want to relax and so on. No, do something consistently, and that's why the reminder of yunfiquna fi sarai wa durai, whether it's in good times when you are comfortable, easy, or when it's hard times. If you were a giving person, if there was always somebody you gave to for whatever, you continue it. But look, there are also times when you want to go overboard, and so, but what is implied there is also be consistent always. And then وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ, and those who can control their anger. So that is a really big thing that we can, if we are able to do, we should apply it. And in fact, this whole passage post Uhud, if you can have a look at it, it goes all the way to Ayah 139, and I'm not going into the translation because I'm hoping to kindle in you a desire. Let me go and see, what is it that she's talking about? Which are the ayahs that we're being talked about? So those are the ones. And for Ayah 35, which is the other sifat in it, is that those who have done something to be ashamed of or wronged earnestly bring Allah to mind and ask for forgiveness for their sins, and who can forgive except Allah? So that kind of reiterates that He's the one, and they're never obstinate in persisting knowingly. That's another sifat that, sometimes we try to justify. Rather accept that I am in the wrong and ask for forgiveness, rather than justify, yeah, Allah, but I really did it because of A, B, and C. My circumstances were that there was none of this available and that available. So, yes, forgive me, but I am still, because finding excuses is what Shaitan did. He said, oh, but you made me better than him, so why should I? So this argumentative or this, no, we need to have this capacity in us to immediately recognize that we are wrong. And the corollary, to take it further into our lives today, is we have the ability to say sorry, have the ability to accept that, yes, sorry, I did wrong. And the beauty also is that even if it wasn't really, really me, but there's no harm. For the sake of peace, there's no harm if I say sorry. So yes, you can have all sorts of debates. So I'm not going into any of that, inshallah. There's plenty out there for you to look at different tafsirs, at tafasirs, at different people, whatever they say, but these are very meaningful ayahs. So I would love you to have it go home into looking into that, Now, just at the tail end, I'd just love to go and look at it to tell you, to sort of bring it back into our life today and see how we can live our life and just know that with these ayahs we would truly be in a better place of working with our deen, because the whole idea of connecting to the Quran is that in our living we are better. In our living we live it in a better way. So here's a poem I'd like to read to you, and it says, mind the soul. So it says, mind the soul, and kindness is the goal. Serving the Creator will make you greater. Peace reigns, relationships gain. Egos abdicate, at kindness cultivate. Reach for depths, and watch your breath. So even in your anger, if you can be watching your breath, just that calms us down. That just that calms us down. And then it says, anger rein in, hide it and feign. Those who restrain their anger, forgive others, are tender. Allah loves them. For their benevolence as people of excellence, and zikr they do, and in zikr they be, from acrimony they flee. Souls find comfort knowing that our days are numbered. They yearn for a higher goal, nurturing the soul. Allah they please, and it becomes a breeze. From the depth of their being, it's always Allah they are seeing. And may we aspire to be those who of the dunya are free. In our hands may dunya be, keeping our hearts free. Reserved our heart for the loving, serving Him with longing. We can do it if we mind our soul and remember our goal. So this is just a sort of a way of bringing it to today and trying to remember how we can constantly navigate through life in kazimin al-ghayz, in spending, in being people of muttaqi, and taking it from there. And the beautiful thing about when you do wrong and you're ashamed of, even in that instant, if you're able to remember and bring Allah to your mind, the best two things to do when you feel you've wronged is go do your nafils. The best thing to do when you've done wrong to somebody is go and apologize. Very hard to do, but those are the kind of things that you need to try and recoup your position, recover and clear the air. Otherwise, we build, instead of building bridges, we end up putting barricades, and we avoid eye contact, and we avoid looking at them, then we avoid even greeting them. Yes, we greet, but we know what kind of greeting we do. It's just a very flippant kind of assalamu alaikum, and we turn the other way. So if we can really ponder on these ayahs more and more and embedded in our way of being. And of course it doesn't, and it's not like once you've read them you're never going to get angry again. No, time and again we're going to get angry, and we are designed to be weak, and we will. But that is the beauty of we can recoup our position. And the quicker we can recoup our position of both in istighfar, both in recognizing that we have wronged ourselves, that is the best way. And in spending, one of the best ways of recovering your position when you're in the wrong is to give in charity and things like that. So those are the kind of things we need to bear in mind, because then the ayah 136 goes back to saying that for these people, for such people, this has been prepared. And what has been prepared is the reward is from their Lord, and how excellent is the recompense for those who do these kind of works, who work in this way. So again, the concept of excellence, linking it to the idea of taqwa. And why do we wish to connect with the Quran is so that we up our mark, we up our behavior, we look at it in a way, and it's not just only to be read so that I can ask for forgiveness for my departed parents, grandparents, the whole works. No, it's supposed to be there for my living my life better. And one of the best things I find the Quran does, if you connect more, is especially if you're doing it, you say, wow, you've been reading the Quran, so what difference has it made to your life? I still see you the same sort of, yucky person, crummy person, whatever. So it behoves us, and it makes us want to then, hello, I just said my salah, I just did this, I'm supposed to be a Muslim. So up our behavior. And that is the whole idea of, at social level, work level, ethics, morals. I don't want to shortchange anybody at every level. And the beauty is, just by me saying it here doesn't make me any more not guilty of doing any of the things that I'm saying not to do. So, but this is how you take home, and you can only share from layman to layman when, we are striving, we're all striving. May Allah accept from us this. But one of, for me, the best ways to is if we connect with the Quran, we will connect with our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we will love him more, we will follow his sunnah more, and thereby, inshallah, earn Allah's pleasure, and he will be able to say, "Fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati." Be pleased, enter my Jannah. Allah pleased with you, and you pleased with Allah. And Allah forgive me for whenever I quote or translate not in the right sequence or right order. But inshallah, the idea is you go home and you look at it, open your musaf. And the last I'll just share with you that look, you can put these little sticky things on every surah, every ayah. Just fill it up and know that it's a worn, used Quran. It's not one just so beautifully pretty, so beautifully everything, and it's just sitting up on your shelf and to be read in Ramadan and so on. Just engage with it more and more. Like I said before, randomly open it and so on. But inshallah, more on next time. And I just pray that it was of benefit. But anger is a issue we have. So this is one of those beautiful ayahs which catches it and encapsulates it. So inshallah, subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Till we meet next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.